Hi, my name is Dr. Sharon DeVivo, and I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of Vaughn College. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for this very special presentation, where we will hear from industry leaders about where things are headed for the future and the importance of institutions like Vaughn, as well as opportunities to provide support for students in the Daniel Turner Scholarship Fund, which you'll find out more about in a few minutes. You know, since the pandemic began, we have really been focused on our vision and mission of serving students well. Whether it was setting up a Zoom front desk, providing laptops, leaving our residence hall open, all of these decisions spoke to Vaughn's core values of demonstrating integrity, embracing diversity, practicing collaboration, achieving impact, and choosing courage. And so we asked some of our very special friends, mostly in the aviation and aerospace industry, to provide us with their thoughts about where they think things are headed in terms of the overall industry and why institutions like Vaughn are so vital to the resurgence and the renewal of aviation and aerospace. So we're going to hear from Nick Callio for Airlines for America, Gary Spulak, President of Embraer Aircraft Holding, Bobby Wells, VP for Safety and Airworthiness at FedEx, and Mary Ellen Jones, VP for Sales for Asia with Pratt & Whitney. All of these folks have been closely tied to Vaughn for many years and understand the incredible population that we serve and why we can continue to be so important to the growth of engineering and aviation, technology, and management. Again, thanks for joining us. And after our industry leaders speak, I'll be back with more information about the Daniel Turner Scholarship.
Good evening. I'm Nick Callio, President and CEO of Airlines for America. We represent the leading passenger and cargo carriers in the United States. It is a privilege to work with so many outstanding individuals who are devoted to this industry, people like Sharon DeVivo. Sharon, you are a true leader, and Vaughn College is such a strong institution because of your talent, focus, and determination. Thank you for asking me to be part of this event. I don't have to tell any of you that this is unprecedented times for the airline industry. It's bleak right now, no question about it. It's hard to believe that before this pandemic, we were experiencing a golden age of sorts. We were seeing record travel. Some 2.5 million people were flying every day. In fact, 90% of Americans said they had flown at some point in their lifetimes. And carriers were flying 58,000 tons of cargo per day. Times have changed. It's challenging for airlines. But during these tough days, we have been reminded that you can't hold your grandchild for the first time over Zoom. You can't relax on a sunny beach by sitting at your computer screen. You can't shake hands over a business deal if you aren't in the same room. And you certainly cannot get fresh salmon from Alaska, fresh flowers from South America, or electronics from Asia without commercial aviation. If one thing is certain in these uncertain times, it's that the airline industry is resilient. We've experienced significant challenges before and have not only survived, but come out stronger than ever. I know we can do that again. And I know that because of two reasons. One, airlines have always been vital to our nation's infrastructure. Throughout this health crisis, they have continued to provide essential services, such as transporting medical personnel and delivering PPE like face shields and N95 masks. And that role for airlines is about to become more critical, transporting vaccines to people across the country and around the world. This is an enormous responsibility. Two, people, flight attendants, mechanics, gate agents, pilots, they are the backbone of the industry. Throughout this pandemic, they have continued to put on their uniforms and perform their duties with pride every single day. Vaughn College plays a large part in cultivating that talent and instilling that sense of pride. Students who know what it takes to roll up their sleeves and work hard to turn dreams into reality. Students like Daniel Turner and many other students who will follow in his footsteps. That is why I firmly believe that the airline industry will survive this pandemic and will help lead our country to economic recovery and a healthier future. Thank you for believing in the future of flying and thank you for supporting Vaughn College.
A very warm hello to the Vaughn College family. I'm Gary Spulak, president of Embraer Aircraft Holding, and it's my sincere honor to speak with you today. Of course, I wish we could be together in person to give the appropriate recognition to this remarkable center of excellence in education. We'll have to settle for virtual interactions for now. As you know, Vaughn College is a one-of-a-kind institution dedicated to developing our future aviation and aerospace leaders, which we so desperately need. Vaughn College molds the best and brightest minds into those who will carry our industry into the future. And we know they will make this industry stronger and more innovative, which is essentially what the future demands. I'm personally blessed to have a long-standing relationship with Vaughn College. I've known about the passionate work of the students, faculty, and staff here for many years, having collaborated with President DeVivo on various industry boards, councils, and events. And in 2017, I was humbled to be recognized at the Vaughn College Gala. In the spring of 2019, I came back to campus to speak with the students, and let me tell you, they are amazing. It's easy for me to imagine the roles that these students will play based on their strengths and interests in developing their careers. For example, every time I've been granted the opportunity to engage with Vaughn students, I find incredible interest in Embraer's urban air mobility initiatives, as it provides a glimpse into what this industry will create for future generations. Earlier this year, our disruptive innovation subsidiary, EmbraerX, graduated its first project, which is designed to accelerate urban air mobility. Aptly named EVE, the endeavor includes the development of an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle, or eVTOL, the associated services and support infrastructure, and the required air traffic management technologies to bring this new ecosystem to life. Urban air mobility is just one example of the world our future aviation and aerospace professionals will create, and Vaughn students will be front and center. Another thing I've learned in my interactions with Vaughn is that the education provided here is future-proof. The curriculum is designed in partnership with industry to graduate the next generation leadership of our industry, who will be prepared to contribute immediately. Of course, as of today, the entire world is weathering the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we cannot lose sight of our future. Vaughn College plays an integral role in building that future, which is why I hope you will join me in advocating for this remarkable institution. Let's all do our part for the industry that has done so much for us, and let's give our future leaders a leg up. Thank you for this wonderful celebration, and my very best wishes to all of you.
The Dakota tribe said, "We will forever be known by the tracks we leave behind us." We're on this planet to make a difference. We're here to contribute to the people around us and to advance and support the next generation. We do that through connecting, because connecting creates opportunity. And if you want to create a legacy, both for yourself, for your family, and for the generations that are going to come, then find ways to give back. Vaughn College is one of those unique institutions that has one of the most diverse student populations in the United States. Most Vaughn graduates are first-time attendees for their family receiving degrees. Many of them are first generation in the U.S. citizens. We also know in aviation that diversity drives safety. It makes us more effective. Having more people around the table who think differently, who ask different questions, who have different backgrounds, who have different perspectives, all of that makes us better. We're not going to survive in the aviation industry if we don't find ways to ensure that diverse students feel like they have a place where they can belong. If aviation can find ways to be welcoming to those diverse students, then we'll all be better. You can invest in aviation by supporting Vaughn College tonight. You're here because you believe in Vaughn College, and whatever you can contribute matters to a student attending right now. There's an old Chinese proverb that said, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now."
Good evening. I'm Mary Ellen Jones with Pratt & Whitney, and I'm honored to join you this evening to celebrate Vaughn College and also to celebrate Daniel Turner, who represents really the best of what Vaughn has to offer. And frankly, it's a little nice to get dressed up for a change. Normally, this time of year, I would be somewhere in Asia, meeting with customers, maybe trying to close a deal or two before the end of the year. But like many of you, I've been working from home. I'm meeting my customers and my colleagues online and on the phone. Now, there's no doubt that our industry is in a tough time right now, a crisis even. But we've been through crises before. There's been oil shocks, the Gulf War, the Great Recession, SARS, but we bounced back every time, and we'll do so again this time. In fact, we're already starting to see it. While international and business travel will probably take longer to recover, we're seeing growth in leisure and domestic traffic, and that's the type of traffic that supports the majority of the U.S. aircraft fleet. People want to be together, and aviation has really led the way in allowing us to do so safely. And though the commercial side of the business may be hurting, the defense side of our industry is as strong as ever. And business and general aviation are also other bright spots, which really shows the strength and diversity of our industry. And I want to assure you that technology and innovation are not taking any time off during this pandemic. We OEMs continue to invest billions of dollars, not only in our existing products and services to make them even better, but also in planning for the future. We're looking at sustainable alternative fuels. We're developing hydroelectric engines that will be powering airplanes in just the next few years. And then there's even more ambitious projects, like hydrogen-powered airplanes for the decades ahead. Now, these and other innovations are going to need skilled engineers and technicians and pilots and many others to bring them to life and to keep them safe. And that's where you at Vaughn come in. And let's not forget the great amount of good that aviation does for the world. It unites families, it spurs commerce, it defends our skies, and it delivers humanitarian aid to those in need. It's a great place to be, and you at Vaughn are right in the middle of it. Now, I thank you for inviting me to join you tonight. I look forward to coming to visit you again soon once restrictions are lifted. I wish you a successful fundraiser, very good health, and a happy holiday season. Good night.
Thank you so much to Nick, Gary, Bobby, and Mary Ellen for those truly inspirational words and why we can feel so hopeful about the future, and also for why Vaughn College is so important to the future growth of the aviation and aerospace industries. We're going to pivot now to stories about Daniel Turner. Daniel was a student with Vaughn and passed away unexpectedly in 2008. We are very fortunate, and I'm so blessed to have been able to stay connected to the family. And they recently decided to found a scholarship in Daniel's name. So in this next segment, you're going to hear from his sister, his best friend, and some of his fellow graduates who've gone on to become pilots, incredible pilots in the field. You know, what's incredible about this scholarship is the fact that it places importance on changing the complexion of the cockpit. We know if we want to do that and increase the diversity in aviation and aerospace, then we have to provide the funding to help make that possible. So Daniel Turner's family has specifically founded a scholarship to provide flight training funding for a Black student who's pursuing pilot training. Becoming a pilot can be rather expensive, $60,000 to $70,000 on top of the cost of tuition. And so scholarship dollars like this make a huge difference in being able to provide the necessary funding for underserved populations. I hope you will strongly consider donating to the Daniel Turner Scholarship Fund and supporting the next generation of aviation enthusiasts. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This is Andrea. I'm Daniel's big sister. I'm so proud to be able to speak on his behalf today. We, his family, his parents, his brothers, and myself, and the rest of the family are grateful that Daniel was given to us, that we were blessed to have him in our family. We want people to know that he was special, he was unique, he was kind-hearted, he was loving, he was loved by his friends and family so dearly, and he was special also to the Lord, and he also loved the Lord very much. We are thankful that he was able to accomplish his dreams. He was able to become a pilot, to obtain his licenses, and to fulfill his dreams and not waste his life. His motto was, "Don't waste your life," and he did not do that. He lived his life to the fullest, and we were able to see him just become a productive citizen of society and just be a really wonderful young man. We want the scholarship at Vaughn College to be in commemoration of his life. We don't want Daniel's name to ever be forgotten, but also in addition to that, we want other students to be blessed to be able to go to school like Daniel was, and that funds will not be a problem for them. And we want the scholarship to be perpetuated year after year so that a student or two or three are blessed because Daniel went to Vaughn College, because he was alive, and because the scholarship was put into place. We're grateful and we're thankful for this opportunity again, and we're grateful to Vaughn College for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Roderick Caesar III. I'm the lead pastor of Bethel Gospel Tabernacle in Jamaica, Queens, where Daniel and his family went to church. That's where I met Daniel. I've known Daniel my whole life until his passing, and I'm just so grateful to have called him brother, to have called him best friend, to have called him friend and confidant. Daniel was unlike any other person that I've ever known. His zest for life and his passion to succeed, and not just succeed, but do things with excellence was almost second to none. He was not afraid of hard work. He was not afraid to roll up his sleeves, get to work, sacrifice fun for pursuit of his goals. And I'm just so grateful to have seen that in action and see him reach his goals. Ever since we were kids, when we were like, "Oh, what do you want to do when you grow up?" He knew right off the bat. Everyone was struggling, trying to scratch their heads, figure out what. He was like, "I'm gonna be a pilot. You're gonna see me in those planes flying." And what a beautiful thing it is to not only say you're gonna do something, but do it. And we're privileged to see Daniel reach those goals, to get his wings, to become a pilot, and to fly. I remember, such great memories from going with him and his brother up in the plane when he was first learning. And it was such a brilliant experience and a brilliant time. But I think that everybody that encountered Daniel knew he was special. There was something different about him. There was something magnetic almost about him that caused you to truly want to, be in his presence and hang out with him and get to know him a little bit better. But one thing about Daniel is he pursued excellence. And I'm just so grateful that this scholarship is named after Daniel, and the recipients of this scholarship just know that you have, this is named after a brilliant individual, and that brilliance is somewhere within you. If you're the recipient of it, this is something that you too can walk out in, that standard of excellence, that standard of pursuing the best for your life. So congratulations to you, the recipient of the scholarship, and I'm just so privileged and blessed to have known Daniel. And so own this scholarship with pride, because it's named after one of the greatest human beings to walk the face of this planet, my brother, Daniel Turner. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Daniel's family and Vaughn College for allowing me to be a part of this scholarship event. It has been a dream of mine since Daniel passed to give out this scholarship and be a part of the scholarship ceremony. And being able to see someone, the scholarship in Daniel's name, help someone towards their flight goals. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Daniel. I was 19 years old at the time that I met him. He had he was just a great person, very welcoming personality. He was just a good friend of mine, and also a good study partner as well at the time that we were studying for our private pilot licenses. We would often pray together before each flight, and I remember vividly we would backseat each other's flights, and it just was great because I got to learn to see how he flew, and vice versa, and we learned from each other. One of the major things that I did learn from Daniel was that he was able to just take constructive criticism whenever we needed some more work on our flights or on flying, and he always had a good flight because his attitude was right. And that's something that I learned from him, is having a good attitude regardless of the situation or how good you did. There's always just another day to come back and become stronger, and that's exactly what he always did with his flying. He took it very seriously, and to see him, become the pilot that he was at the time, it was just amazing to see his growth, and that just became from his attitude and his upbringing. So he definitely had a lot of influence on us as his friends in Texas, and we hope that this scholarship will continue, and the spirit of the scholarship on behalf of Daniel Turner will greatly impact future generations to come. And I'm just happy to be a part of this. Thank you to Vaughn College again. Thank you to Daniel's family again. And yes, thank you.
Hello, my name is Franklin Corema, and it's been 8 years since I haven't seen Daniel Turner. 2012 doesn't seem like a long time ago. It feels like it was a few days back what we went through, and I met him in 2012. And what brought us closer was the fact that we had the same ambitions and same goals, and the love for aviation. I remember we prayed together once, and that showed me a lot about his character and how trustworthy he was. And I remember when we were about to start our commercial training, we call each other each other's wingman. So until this day, I know he's been watching over a lot of us, and he is my wingman whenever I go fly. So I feel a lot safer out there as well because of that. And he will always be my wingman. I got a few other memories as well with him, great ones. A great friend of mine, and I miss him. Hopefully one day we'll get together.
I've always considered myself lucky to have known Daniel. If you were able to follow him academically, you would be able to see a regular student transition to a young professional. Each semester that passed, Daniel got stronger and stronger academically. Daniel was part of a cohort of students who in all respects were a true band of brothers and sisters. They cohabited in San Marcos, Texas. All desired to complete their flight training. These students supported each other in every way imaginable. They were all lucky, as I was, to know Daniel and to be helped by him. Knowing that these students were alone and far from home, I would often fly down to San Marcos to stay a few days. I'd take the group out to eat, to make sure that they were in good spirits. One night while I was there, I remember having the pleasure of sitting across with Daniel during a meal. I remember his personality and his love of laughter. He was an amazing person to know. Students like Daniel don't come along often. Family and education were important to him. A chance to fly, to follow his dreams, was what he wanted. And now through his memory, his family continues to provide opportunities for others to follow in Daniel's footsteps.
Hello, everybody. It seems like it was yesterday. I was a little girl, looking at the sky, following the machine crossing the air above my head, dreaming to be up there and fly everywhere. It seems like yesterday when I joined Vaughn College and dived into the world of aviation, inspired by its endless possibilities, magic, beauty, freedom, camaraderie, and the list of what aviation has to offer can go on and on and on. It is a privilege for me today to travel above the small and big towns, to see the earth below as a giant anthill in which each one of us is pursuing happiness. Sitting up there in the flight deck often makes me reflect on the fact that the world is so small and that we depend so much on each other. Yes, the reality I experienced today as a pilot wouldn't be possible without the thoughtful guidance, humanness understanding, and continuous support of Vaughn College and all the aviation industry associates and friends I was lucky to meet and interact with during my aviation journey. Exploring the science and art of flying these big, heavy machines is my ultimate happiness. That gives me freedom to feel, to be, to think, to experience, to connect, to grow. I'm very thankful I'm given the chance to share with you this passion, this love, and I cherish every memory and every moment that as an aviator I'm facing today. Looking back, I know if I am given a second chance, I'll take the same route, pursuing airman's lifestyle again. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, aviation industry. Thank you, family, and thank you, friends. And one more thing, all these words I just spoke are also in honor of Daniel Turner, an airman and friend I won't forget. We started our training together. He would have been probably a captain by now. I've got something else in store for him though. Unexpectedly, he flew west, and it might be silly, but I believe now he's probably watching over us as an angel at some high altitude. Blue skies and tailwinds, Daniel. You are still with us.